Now, I always say sit back and relax, but today, don't sit back and relax. I want you on the edge of your seat because we have a guest that's going to make you feel that way. You're watching 30 frames a second. Let's get this show started. Hit it, Nat.
I will not abrogate my right. That's true. I understand that. Under any circumstance.
The host, of course, Greg Lasser, here with no other than the great Nat Wood.
Adjust your television set. You are fortunate enough to have tuned in to 30 frames a second.
You have spun that into the fact where the victim is now the perpetrator and the perpetrator is now the victim. And that just drives me crazy.
Driving Nat crazy. That's what we do around here. Hello and welcome to 30 frames a second. And driving Nat crazy is what these ladies specialize in. My name is Luciera. I am one of your hosts today. I am a professional model, choreographer, and actress, and I have the pleasure of sitting next to Miss Sheila Berry, the executive producer of Gospel Showcase and the Dr. Albert A. Lewis Gospel Hour. She is also one of the producers of Community Cop. Welcome, Sheila. Next to her, I was going to save it, but everything in me can't. I'm so excited. We are welcoming our special guest today, Sharon Quinn. Sharon is a supermodel, and I've had the pleasure of being on her show, Model Behavior with Sharon Quinn, which, by the way, we'll be pushing it all show, so you have to make sure you watch it. Next to her is Miss Nikki West. Nikki is our communications specialist, and that's probably why she speaks better than all of us, so don't judge us, okay? That's what she does. We all have talents. Look that up in the Bible if you don't know what that means. And next to her, this lady needs no introduction, but I have to do it. It's part of my job. Miss Veronica Kitt. Veronica is the founder of the People's Film Festival, which we love, not like, love. She's also the host and producer of the VK Report. She's the director, editor, and I'm going to add to that list. She doesn't know this yet. I'm going to add to that list writer, because she's going to help me write my memoir. She doesn't know it yet. Hello, ladies, and welcome.
Hello.
How we doing on this Tuesday?
It's a beautiful day.
It's a beautiful day. And we're all above ground.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
As the old folks would say right now, right?
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Okay, well, I say we get this party started. Summer is quickly coming to an end. Is it just me, or did it go quickly this year?
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's something the older people used to say too, right?
What?
Time gonna go fast.
Yes,
Girl,
it
you're
is.
blinking.
He said, don't go fast.
That's what they say. Remember when you were young and you couldn't wait to get out of your parents' house? When I get older, I'm gonna move out of here, and I ain't gonna, and y'all ain't gonna never.
That's right.
And now it seems like, honestly,
Yeah, mine was
the holidays.
The older you get, the faster time goes.
Yes.
Why is that? Because there's so much to do?
There's so much to do, and you know your time is limited. But like someone I recently heard, they said time puts value on your life.
I like that.
Time puts value.
One of
on
my
your
favorite quotes in the world is Mark Twain, who said, we have two important days in our lives, the day we're born and the day we know why. And I've been blessed to know why. I thought it was to be a top model for a while, then I thought it was to be an actress, then I thought it was to be something that had no business, but now I know. My whole thing is, my ministry is the young and lifting self-esteem. And there's a satisfaction in coming and knowing that it's not finances, it's not God got me, but this is what I'm supposed to be doing. So anytime something comes this way, it's, am I doing my ministry? As long as you stay on your calling, you will always
Okay,
be
so
down a
that's going to
path.
open up a question. My
have
question is
goosebumps.
always, how do you know when you found what your calling is?
You know,
Yes.
you know.
Yes.
I couldn't, before I used to ask that to people who said that to me. But when you get it, you know. There is a light, and not only do you know, when something comes in that sounds real good, like the reality show I was offered, when they come and it comes so close and I don't get it, I want to sit back and say, why? Then I realize It wasn't my calling. When I was offered the president of a certain organization, the presidency, and I was like, oh, that would be, and then I realized that's not your calling. And every time I try to veer away, things don't work out right. Things don't work out.
You know when everything inside of you is no longer screaming out for more.
Yes.
Wow.
That's a perfect way to put it.
That's a good way of putting it.
That's a
You
perfect
know
way.
when you're off course when every day you get up and it's just something inside of you is telling you that you're made for more. And when your insides are no longer crying out and saying to you that you're made for more, you know you're on the right path.
But see, for me, it was everything that I've done all came together. So here it is, I wanted to teach, I wanted to edit, I wanted to give back, I wanted to build me up. It was like this give and take. It was, and it all became to flow in a circle. And it's like, wow, this is all it. Everything that I was doing all of my life, here and there, all came together in one. And it's like, this is it.
To that moment.
But Veronica, that's
film
exactly. No,
Everything.
it was being a top model in Paris and learning how to stand out in a room, learning how to make you look, learning how to be picked. Okay, I thought that. But now that I work for the organization I work for, that's exactly what I do. But all of those things kind of came together. Getting trophies and honors in certain competitions in school for interview. I was really good in interviews. Now I help girls in part of that job too. It all kind of came
And
together.
you're a master trainer. I
It all
always
came
say,
together now.
yeah.
And, you said,
that's what I do.
It all
And you
comes
get-
together.
you
Because
get
today I
peace
was on the
within
bus,
yourself, too.
on the crosstown bus coming here. And I was just like, it's so saturated, the news is so saturated with what's going on around us and with the presidency, and rightfully so, because there's a lot of changes going on. And I was on the bus, and guess what? You get confirmation.
Okay.
Because
Oh, absolutely.
I just got confirmation. I was on a
Absolutely.
crosstown bus and I was saying, if they ask me about Trump, I'm going to say, I don't want to talk about Trump. I want to talk about God's work. And God's work is not about thumping the Bible. God's work is about the community. And you opened up the door for this conversation, and there's the confirmation. And you know
Wow.
you're walking in your purpose because you'll always find confirmation and people along the way to let you know that you're on the right path. And you just let me know that I have to be about God's work, the community. The community is God's
Giving
work.
back.
Giving back.
The word Christian means Christ-like.
Christ-like.
And that's what God did. He gave. He gave unconditionally. He gave without judgment. There was never retaliation. He gave. So what are you giving? I often tell people, and personally, I'm going through a little something right now, a period. And for me to fight negative, I have found the best way to fight negative is to fight it with positive. I will get up in the morning and I will say, okay, enemy, you want to do something today? The first 10 people I see, I'm going to encourage. Now, you got to be careful because the enemy will then, the person you encourage will say, and this has happened to me, I ain't gay. And I said, oh, I wasn't hitting on you. I just wanted you to know that your hair looks incredibly beautiful today. And I won't let that stop me because if you're not careful, he'll even slip in that way. But I say, I'm encouraged. I just called somebody before I came, and I said, what are you doing Tuesday? And you know him. And he said, I'm not doing anything. I said, yes, you are. You're going to meet me at Apple, and I'm going to buy you a iPad. And he said, Lou, don't even joke like that. I said, no, it was just put on my heart to do a financial blessing, and your name came straight into my heart.
Wow.
Not from me, it's from God, and we're going to do that. And he was just like, I can't believe that. And whenever you feeling a little something, get out of yourself. Give back. Give back. Give back. And you can't help after a while but feel great. That's my secret.
It's about sowing your seed. And again, I'm sitting here and I'm about to just shout on this set because when we were last on, you were asking us all about projects and stuff that we're working on, and I was so excited about this project and moving into this new phase. And then the project came, did the work, and then I was not paid and still left unpaid.
Wow.
And I was sitting there, and then we had a contract signed and everything, and they're calling me and saying, let's negotiate your fees. And I said, there's nothing to negotiate because the fees are already in the contract. So there's no conversation to be had at this point unless you're talking about my compensation. And I was in a dark place. And I was just like, this is the enemy. So I was sitting there and I unplugged from everything, and I was just like, God, I need clarity and I need wisdom. And I just unplugged because I needed to know what my next steps would be. And the Holy Spirit said to me, sow into other people's lives. Find 100 people that you can sow into their lives. And some people think sowing is monetary wise. Sowing could mean sowing your talents, sowing your time,
Knowledge.
sowing your knowledge, sowing your energy.
You're listening. Just listening is sowing. If somebody needs that and they need to be listened to.
So I said to myself, I tried to help this one person, and this one person screwed me over. So what do? Do I stop sowing to other people's lives?
Wow.
And say forget about everybody else, or do I say the devil is a lie and go sow into 100 more people? Lives? And that's where I came up with PIPFul, living your PIPFul life, living your purpose, intentional productivity.
PEP. All right. PIP.
Purpose,
Intentional.
productivity. And I
Okay.
said, I'm going to do what I do for other people from a top to bottom review, and whatever it is in your life that you're attempting to do, whether it's in your finance, whether you're trying to find your purpose, trying to find out what was I made for.
Oh God, that's the
I am
question I ask
going
myself
to
every
coach
day.
100 people free of charge.
Well,
100 people sowing into their lives and coaching them, because I cannot let this one person deter me and from who I am. We all have control and power over who we are, but we don't have control and power over other people. So they can choose not to pay me and question the work that I've done, and I can choose to now move forward and sow into others' lives and let them pay it forward. So that's where and don't steal my word, PIPFul. It's not in a dictionary. It's not in a dictionary.
You better buy that. You better put some money on that.
Your
I've been
PIPFul
through
life.
those
You better-
situations in my life. Number one, I thought that I wanted to be one thing, but in my heart, you see, and I've had visions on what I wanted to be, and I was told in my generation, you cannot. And God proved them wrong. Here I am. And when people say that they're going to pay you and you're looking for this, don't worry about it, because God can open every door for you. He can feed you. He can clothe you. Just don't make the same mistake twice, and have a prayer life in it. Because if you're not having conversations with God, you're not going to go but so far at a certain amount of time. You have a call. He knows, and you were made to do what He wants you to do. Just stand still and wait on the Lord. This
And you
has
have to watch
always
your
worked for me.
intention as
I
well.
don't know, Sharon, exactly, because I could never tell you, but I just want to tell you something. From the bottom of my heart and being sincere, you are such a role model for girls you have no idea about when I'm talking to girls. Girls you may not ever know that they look up to you and admire you and have studied you and said, if she can do it, I can do it. And you didn't just do it. As Nina Simone said, I think you did it your way.
Absolutely.
When they said you had to have this body or this weave or this, that, or this attitude, you did it your way. So I'm going to keep you in my prayers that you do get that feeling inside, whatever that might be. But I want to acknowledge that there are girls you will never, ever know that look up to you, and
Thank
you
you for
have
saying
done
that.
that.
May I add to that? Also, how you got my attention, your care for senior citizens. You said upstairs, and maybe you thought I didn't pay any attention. You said, no, I can't let them do that to my seniors. The second thing, your care for the voluptuous woman. That's the only way I can describe it.
Voluptuous.
For women, and you're always
The curvy
helping
woman.
someone. You don't wait for anyone to ask all the time. You have come to people and said, may I? And you're there
Yeah, she's so
100%.
kind.
Thank you.
And I admire that about you.
Thank you very much, and and that might actually be my calling, because I've always had a connection with my elders since I was a little kid, and I've always been protective of them. I'm drawn to older people. If I see you on the street, I'm like, you okay? You need help? And maybe he's been telling me, and I haven't been listening. I don't know, but I'm going to commit to finding quiet time because I know that's important, and listen, because this is the advice I give people. But I can't always say that I've experienced that. I'm feeling like I'm on the right path, but I'm not doing exactly what it is I'm supposed to be doing. I'll figure it out. Or
when it hits you, you'll know.
This is what
Get ready,
community
get
is.
ready.
This
It's
is
coming,
exactly
baby.
what community is about. And like I said, you know, being a Christian and being of God's business, it's not about sitting in a pew every Sunday.
right.
It's about giving back. It's about speaking life and light into each other and uplifting. Okay? It's about helping each other, and that's exactly what I want to do. And I want to go back to you because I shared with Lou previously during the festival that I saw you and Lou online. I was going through the YouTube and I came across you guys online, and I was just so drawn to you, drawn to your light. And you do have a purpose, and you are walking into your purpose, and don't ever question it because nothing ever just happens.
I believe that.
Nothing ever just happens. I was listening to TD Jakes. When I had to unplug, I unplugged. I lit my candles. I turned on TD Jakes, and it was just me and God. I texted the people that I usually talk to on a daily basis and told them, if you don't hear from me, don't be alarmed. I'm overwhelmed. I need clarity. I need wisdom. And in order to get to that place of where I hear the voice of God, I have to unplug from the external and attach to the internal. And sometimes we just have to turn inward and hear ourselves, because hear our God self. Some people call it intuition. I call it my God self. I call it the Holy Spirit. Because God says He is wherever we are. Wherever we are, you can find God. So sitting right here, right now in us, there's our God self, there's God in us, and He has you. He has you.
Yes, He does.
And your purpose is already being fulfilled. Nothing just happens.
And if I can add real quick, since we're on the Sharon
We've been waiting on you to add, woman. Jump in.
No, but the show and her did was like fabulous.
We've been trying to do another one because
another one.
we
It's
have
really
just
good.
got more reviews.
Amazing,
It's a lot of
amazing
teaching going
show.
on.
But I'm trying to remember exactly where I saw you, because you have an amazing fashion sense, especially when it comes to bigger women. And I remember, I don't know if it was a fashion show or something, and the girl had a big belt.
I know where you're going with this. Okay.
And
It was wide,
a
big
yeah,
belt.
big wide belt, big girl with a big wide belt. And you said, I wouldn't do that. Take the belt off or something. Whatever it was.
She probably had the
that
belt up
stayed
under her
with
high,
me
up here.
forever.
Like the
As if
Empire
that's your
waist.
waist.
I was like,
Yes.
girl, no, you don't put the belt
And
up
she
there.
said you don't. And I'm like, well, why not? You know. But this is the type of information that you give to women, and it really helps. And something like that's as simple as it is, it stayed with me, and forever. Watch you with Monique, and you're just
Thank you.
powerful. Love her. Love her.
Let me just say
Let's
for
go.
our viewing audience, because we are talking
love
as if,
Sharon.
as if they
enjoying
know,
this.
as if they know what we're talking about. Sharon Quinn has an incredible show. It comes on here on Manhattan Neighborhood Network on Saturdays at 11:30, and it's called Model Behavior with Sharon Quinn. Again, Saturday mornings at 11:30, and that's what we're talking about. If you haven't seen it, you have missed out, but that's okay. You now know. There you go. Okay, so make sure you watch it, and that's what we're talking about right now. It's a great show. And I think I saw this on television the other day. There are people actually going through postpartum, almost a depression, a fear. It really amazed me with everything going on. A woman was on television crying, saying the police pulled her over, and she got so scared that she started trembling, and she was actually crying while she was telling the story. And it was a Caucasian officer and an African-American woman. And she said, all he said was, I just wanted to know if you were okay because you were driving really slow. Are you okay? And she said she was so thrown because she knew it was going to be something bad. She had already made up in her mind it was going to be something bad. She was like, all right, what do I do? Do I put my phone on? I'm going to have to video him. He's going to take me. Is he going to rape me? Is he going to yell at me? Is he going to call me this? And she said, I couldn't stop crying, and he was even afraid to leave me, and he was wondering, well, why are you crying? Why are you upset? I'm just doing my job. You were driving so slow that I'm thinking something is wrong with you. Are you okay? And she said, I am okay, but I thought you were going to do something else. And I thought, wow.
That's sad.
Yeah.
And it's the climate today.
Yes.
It is the climate and its fears, and a lot of it is based on what is going on now today, but a lot of it is also based on our own preconceived notions about who you are, stereotypes, whatever it is that you have in you, what you were raised with. You know, you come to the table with this, and then now in this today's day and age, the climate is so hot when it comes to police community relationships. You know, it's like, we think something is
Well,
going
is
to
there
happen. Then
anyone
you
that
aren't told.
isn't under attack? We got the transgender shouldn't be in the
The whole-
military. The Mexicans are rapists and drug dealers, and let's build a wall. We got women, I'm going to grab you and touch you, and you get over it. Muslim, let's, okay.
Let's
I got
kill all
one,
of them.
wait, I got one for you. Get up at 2 in the morning to be on a flight at 4:30 to be to the airport at 4. The flight leaves at 6. Scanned my ticket. Everything went through. Get on the plane. I'm sitting there, and someone comes on and says, "You're in my seat." We look at the ticket. We both had the same seat. And I'm saying, "Wonder what's wrong." He said, "Your flight's not at 6 a.m. Your flight's at 6 p.m." And I'm like, "Okay," but then it hit me. How did the machine let me on the plane? But then it hit everybody around me. But let me give you a visual. My hair was tied up in black. Okay, I got the black on, I got these, I got the dark glasses, I got a black warm-up on. I know, my name could have been Muhammad Shalik, whatever. You know what I mean, Mrs. And everybody started tapping me. "Excuse me, how did you get on the plane if you didn't have a ticket? Is your luggage on the plane too?" I said, "I don't know, I hope so." Because I wanted to be with me, and I don't know how. I just thought, oh my gosh, you never feel it until you feel it.
Yep.
I know it's wrong. I know it's wrong, but it never hit me. Why would someone? And then that feeling on that plane with people looking and whispering and pointing, I just went, wow. Wow. Of course, I thanked God, because the best way to help people is to know what they're feeling exactly. I look at all trials that way.
Yes.
So now I can better help those who are going through that. But yeah, that was something special.
But at least you was able to walk off the plane. They didn't drag you off. The stuff that I'm seeing now, I'm just like, this is how we carrying on now. We just dragging folks off the plane because we need the seat for another crew member. What is that?
Yeah. He sued, didn't he?
Yeah, and he gonna get a lot of money for that too, because they
And
busted his
they
whole
already
face up.
settled. It's
Yeah.
already settled, and it's an undisclosed amount, and there's a gag clause on the settlement, so I don't think he's able to talk about how much money they
Well,
paid
for the
him.
record, if you want to give me a couple of million, my lips are closed too, boo-boo. I'm just saying, there's some things I can be quiet about. I know I talk a lot, but a couple of million, that might be my
Baby,
turning
everybody
point.
is flying United now looking for something to go wrong. Everyone, okay? They just buying tickets. I'm gonna get that check, okay?
I also recently saw a mother who just said she's just petrified for her son to go out now. She just said, I'm to a point where I know I shouldn't walk in fear, Lou, but he's a young black male, and I am just scared. When it was having a swimming pool and afraid of him drowning, I would teach him how to swim. I made sure he knew that. But how do I equip him?
You can't. You could just tell them how to deal with the police, but know every day that you send them out, they may not come back.
And it's not just the police.
And it's not just the
not just
police.
police.
There are a lot of people that are fearful of young black men. We come here, our children come here with targets on their back. I don't think any other race of people have to deal with that. Our kids come here with targets on their back, and every day we send them out, we have to pray that they come back in the same shape that we sent them out in. It's ridiculous. It's just ridiculous. Doesn't make any sense.
And then today you have a president who actually doesn't get it. You know, so therefore he's pulling out of programs, pulling from programs. And if we look at the various different states that are pretty much going bankrupt, that don't have money, so now what's happening is that in our own communities, it's imploding. We're preying on each other.
Yep.
So it's not even just the police, but we're fighting amongst each other. And then the interesting thing is that the drugs that are being pumped into the community is now being it's expanded into other communities, and that's when they begin to take notice.
Isn't that something?
That's when it's a problem.
Isn't that
That's when
something?
it's a problem. 125th
That's when it's a
Street
problem.
in
It wasn't a
Lexington
problem.
Avenue, it was everybody was
It's not.
all
But now
out
that
there, but then they
heroin
found that one
is
guy.
in mainstream in those suburban areas, now it's an epidemic, and we need centers and funding
They need help.
and things. And now they
And
need
we've
help.
They need
always
help.
needed it, and so therefore this is why as parents we're in fear of our young black men. What is going to happen to I don't know what it's like to walk a day in life of a black man, but guess what? He may walk down the street and somebody locks their door. A woman may clutch her bag, you know, or there's a misconception in terms of who you are, what do you do, what kind of work you do you work, you know? So it's like, it's crazy. He's walking around with this stigma attached to him based on race, based on stereotypes, based on, you know, false. I mean, it's sad.
But I think it's so. Oh, go ahead.
So he's under attack.
Yeah, so you wonder, you know, what to do. I thought, for an example, that if we teach our children to dress different and to dress up, that might help. And when I thought about it, I said it'll only help a fraction. I believe that history repeats itself. I believe from the bottom of my heart that they are trying their best to bring slavery back. It's
Slavery
not just-
never left. Go to jail, because it's in the 13th Amendment.
That's what I'm talking about. And the work to get done. Did you know that if your child cut class in the state of Virginia, matter of fact, Richmond, and you're working on a JOB, that they come and put you in jail?
So they make the parents accountable for their child's.
They put you in jail.
Virginia's
so
a commonwealth.
who's supposed to take care of your children while you're in jail? That means your children
Go into the system. Yep.
And you're doing free labor.
Wow.
And who's benefiting
And
from
this
it?
is for someone
This has
cutting
happened
school?
Yes, this has happened recently.
Oh, I have to look into that because that's just.
But we have the
That's
power
overkill.
to fix this sort of stuff. We can't be apathetic, though.
Thank you. It starts with us.
cannot
If
be
I hear
apathetic.
one more person who doesn't vote, that doesn't check homework, that isn't active with their child, who isn't checking in, a slave-like mentality can be put upon me, but I have to accept it or reject it. And by rejecting it, I say, I'm not staying in this environment and have a baby so I get money. If that happens, that happens. I'm not saying anything against that. I'm saying I'm not purposely doing that. I'm not going to marry someone so that I can sit at home. I'm going to get an education or not, because I never graduated college. I am not saying you have to graduate college to be successful. But you got to want it. You got to drive for it. You got to say, I'm not letting your thoughts, you wasn't nothing, your daddy wasn't nothing, you ain't going to be nothing, your mama wasn't nothing, you just like, I'm not letting your story be my story. And it starts with us.
It's like
I
she
get
said.
very upset with that. It starts
comes
with
with
us.
empowerment.
You have the power.
power over your own life.
We have to empower. You know, I am not going to sit here and feel hopeless and helpless as a parent. As a parent, what I do, I empower. I empower my son, and I let him know he was created for something, and he has to figure out what that something is. And figuring out what that something is comes with DHW. I call it DHW, daily habit work.
You got a lot of little things like that. We're gonna be right near. You know why?
I told you.
You ain't got to worry about stealing them out there in the audience. I'm going to steal them. How about that?
I have been in the lab, really. I told you, I disconnect, and I am about to launch my coaching online. And I'm welcoming everybody who wants to come on and do it, to join me. Follow me on Instagram. Email me to my my Gmail account. But I am very serious about this. People are walking around despondent and depressed because they're not walking in their purpose. You cannot change what you can tolerate. And I cannot coin that. That came from Mike Murdoch, Inspiration Ministries.
You cannot change what you can tolerate. If you can tolerate it, you put up with it.
So if you can tolerate
But
living
can you
in
tolerate joblessness? Can you tolerate poor education system? Can you tolerate homelessness? Can we tolerate that?
But
We're
what
walking
she's
into
saying is that there are
walls.
people who
But
are.
this is society too. People are walking in there and they banging into walls because society right now dictates that there's nothing for you. There's no jobs for you. There's no income for you. There's nothing.
But
So
you
what
said
do we do?
something
How
very
do we change
powerful.
that?
You just said something powerful. Society is dictating.
Yes.
Okay, society is dictating it, but how do we push
break
back?
it?
How do we
Yes.
push back and how do we break it? It comes with the daily habit work. What are we doing? What seeds are you sowing into your community to change and to turn around what society is saying to you? I'm telling you, people, join me on this journey. It's a 12-month journey of self-realization. And you have to sign a contract with yourself, not with me. You have to sign a contract with yourself. And you have to say where you want to be in 12 months from now. If in 12 months from now you want to have a home, you want to have a car, you want to have a husband, you want to be an entrepreneur, you want to change jobs, careers, you sign a contract, a 12-month contract with yourself. And join me on this 12-month journey of self-realization where each day we're going to be doing the daily habit work. Your habits create your future.
Yes, they do.
Yes, the habits create your success
Yes, they do.
and your failures.
Yes,
if you in
they
the
do.
house every day smoking,
Yes,
drinking,
so right.
sexing.
Yes.
If you in the house smoking, drinking,
Yes.
sexing every day, what purpose are you
Yes.
fulfilling?
Yes.
But if you're out there,
You know what that is. Don't make me punch you in the
please,
neck.
having sex, people.
Yeah.
If you're in the house, and you know, we say we're busy. There's a difference between busy and productive.
Yes.
You can be busy in the house watching TV, but are you productive? What I want to help people to do is be productive in their everyday life, doing the daily habit work. Lou, you're a runway coach, you're an actress, you're a host. What is your daily habit work that you do sewing into yourself and your talent, your life?
Absolutely. There is not a moment I get up that at 4:30, I get up at 4:35 to 5:30, I'm in the gym. 5:30 to 6, I read my God daily word that comes on my phone, and it's something for me to reflect on. That's my quiet time. 6 a.m., I have a prayer partner. Her name is Karen. We pray every morning during the week at 6 a.m. to help me, because I believe in the morning is that most important time that if I focus and I do that. From 6 to 6:30, I speak to my mom. I will check in with my family, my mom, my dad. I usually speak to my mom every day. Then I answer international emails because I work a lot overseas. By 8 o'clock, I'm out of the house. I have an assistant. I have 2 corporations underneath my name. I speak 5 languages, but there's not a day I sit back and I'm doing nothing but videos and think, yay, I was great today. And I get offended with my neighbors who want to open their window and throw their trash out on the lot, then get upset when we have to sign saying that housing can stay in the neighborhood, because then I'm a son of a something, because my property value is going down. When we begged you not to do it. We found out which apartments it was by accident. We stood out there, the neighborhood watching, put the flashlight on the door, on the window when they throw the trash out. We put a note on the front door to the other tenants, please stop these 2 windows. Not just any trash. They do their frying pan, they do feminine products, they do, and the rats take over. But then we're a son of a something if we don't then vote that this property can stay there. See, I can't have it both ways. If you want to work with us and we work together, then let's work together. Nobody's looking up on nobody or down on nobody, but you got to be involved. You got to be part of it. You can't be even someone, what's the saying? The worst thing for good people to do is nothing.
Bro, come on. That's why we are where we are
That's
today as a country. That's why we are where we are.
Well, let me ask a question, because I'm going to play this little devil's advocate.
I love it
and
when you
I'm
play
not saying
devil's
that
advocate.
I agree with it, but there are some people that just don't want to do.
You're right.
Because
They're
they can
comfortable.
tolerate
No,
where
you're
they
right.
are. They can
Yeah,
tolerate
it's
You
like
can, but
they
you don't
don't
focus,
focus
you don't
on
focus on those people. You
Exactly.
focus on the
But they're-
ones that
They're
you
the
can
ones
get.
that's messing up the
And
area.
get in the way of, could it? I mean, is it possible that they get in the way of your progress or us moving together as a community, as a people? I mean, or allowing others to look
They
at
can
us
only get in
differently?
the way if
'Cause
you
they'll say
allow
that's
them
all
to.
of us as opposed to...
They
No,
only get in the way if you
Because
allow
when
them to.
I went to Africa a couple of times, but when I went, I was there, and the young men there, it was like, hey, baby, hey, mom. They got it off the video. They thought it was okay. So I'm like, you can't talk to me like that. But they didn't know. So what we're doing is that we're projecting as a group. They don't see us individually and say, hey, that's just that group of people, but everybody, all blacks don't
Then
do
maybe
that.
we should show them
That's
who
a
we are
narrative I will
individually.
reject
You
and
have to.
continue to reject.
Yeah.
Like I am me. You value what you respect. And I can tell what you value because of your daily habit work. You value your health, you value your career, you value your spirituality, and you value your family. Because in your daily habit work, you prioritize. You put first things first. And the things that you put first is what you value. So if you value community, you'll put your community first. If you value your environment and cleanliness, then you'll respect cleanliness. You respect what you value. So when we see things like that occurring, is because the people, they don't respect it. And how do we help them respect it? We help them respect it by empowering them, by going out into the community. Each one, reach one, teach one. We all have a talent. And when you don't tap into your talents, and when you're not walking in your purpose, we are robbing society. We are robbing society because there is something that society needs from us. I was watching Animal Atlas, and it was talking about the zebras. And the number one predator of the zebra is the lion. But the zebras, when they're all in a herd, the lion can't separate one from the other because of the stripes, and they can't see color. All the zebras have their own stripes. Just like 9 billion people on this earth, we all have our individual fingerprint. And just like 9 billion people on this earth can have their own individual fingerprint, we all have our own unique talents inside of us. And when we don't do the work to discover what those natural innate talents are, we are robbing society of it. And it's our duty and it's our purpose. Like the 2 quotes that you said at the beginning, the 2 questions. Why? What is your purpose? Can you repeat it again?
Yes, Mark Twain said we have 2 important days in our lives: the day we're born and the day we know why.
And the day we know why. And we have to know why, because if we don't discover the why, then society will never benefit from the why.
We have to speak out in our communities to each other and not be afraid. I've heard of saying, God hath not given me the spirit of fear. So you have to stand up real tall. I did it the other day. Now you know I'm an activist about dogs defecating on the street and people not using their pooper scooper. Man walking down the street, 2 big dogs. I didn't see a pooper scooper. And me and my big mouth. That's why we as people of color don't have anything now, because you let your dogs mess up all over the street. You don't clean up behind your dog. And the man yelled back at me, I do so clean up behind my dog. He went in his pocket and pulled out
the little
his
bag.
But think about the people who haven't been. You should
it's a lot
say
of them.
something.
Yeah.
You have to open up your mouth, not just about the pooper scooper. The pooper scooper is my thing that I do. I've been doing it for years. But about other things that you see that's not right. Even they say you're not supposed to talk to someone else's child if you see them wrong. There's a way to do it. And we have to learn that way, how to do it and how to reach out to each other. If we don't, we'll be in worse trouble than we are.
Some of these kids and some of these people make you fearful to approach them. I might hold my tongue with an adult if I'm getting a vibe like, okay, this might not be a smart thing for you. I'm not going to be. I'm just
Terrorized by a child.
By a child. That's not going to happen. And these kids today will just speak all out of
Yeah,
pocket.
they have
They don't care. Like,
They
you're
dare
not
you
going
to
to call
hit.
me out my name and you 10. I will drag you by your ear and take you to your mother. No, you don't get to call me. And you 10 years old? Nah, I'm not
But our
taking that.
society has changed. So many things have changed where these kids don't fear parents. They don't fear God.
Well, they
don't go to church.
The laws have made it
So
so
there's
that,
nothing
that
preventing them.
parents can't really parent
Yeah,
the
I'ma
way that
call
they
I'ma
need
call
to.
ACS
But these
right
kids
now.
think they could just pick up a phone and they'll tell you.
And call. I'm
And
call
call.
my
Okay,
mama.
go ahead, do that.
The parenting starts from birth. Okay.
Thank you.
It starts from birth.
Thank you.
And if you are present from birth, then guess what? That child would have no reason to pick up the phone and call ACS on you. If you're a parent, you don't get to be on vacation from being a parent. You're a parent 24/7. You get breaks.
Like this
I
one
can't,
mother,
I
she
can't
needs
really,
more
I'm not really
time.
sure
it don't have to
if
be
that
a
applies
parent.
in all.
I don't know if
cases.
it's 100%
Yeah.
because some people just evil, but
Because
I agree on most
yeah,
cases.
I agree
on most
agree.
cases.
You
For
have
the
to
most
do the
part,
work.
I agree with
there are
most
parents that are there and are attentive from birth, and they still get these crazy ass kids that's gonna speak out of pocket because they can't be with them 24/7. So they do what they see out in the streets. What do you do in that instance?
Ever heard the saying?
Because it's not always bad parenting. Sometimes it's
No,
just
there are
bad
single
kid.
moms working three jobs, and she can't be their homework checked. She can't be there, and then they get what they see on television. They get in school what the other kids are doing, and so there are definitely
You have to
definitely
have
issues.
it takes a village, and they didn't
It
say
takes
it
a
takes a
village.
village. You
Takes a
have to
village.
have a support system.
You have to.
Thankfully, I have a very strong support system around me, but guess what? I didn't just fall into that support system. I did the work for that support system. You have to let people know emotional intelligence is not just about the business world. Emotional intelligence is being able to know your strengths, your weaknesses, and surveying the land to see where you can, get help and where you can better yourself, emotional intelligence. So if you know as a single parent you have 3 jobs and your child is going to be home alone, guess what? If you don't have family, there are after school programs. If you don't have an after school program, show yourself friendly. Where I live, all my neighbors know me. I'm sitting outside and no one
me too. The
passes
neighbors,
me
we
by.
know each other.
In my building, everyone, I was going to bring my hair today. My son here today, and my neighbor called me. What are you guys doing? I said, well, I have the show today. I'm going to be in the studio. She said, what is your son doing? I said, I'm going to take him with me, and he's going to sit in the studio. She said, no, we're going to the pool. Send him to the pool. I didn't bat an eye to say, okay, and send my son with her because guess what? I've showed myself friendly. She showed herself friendly, and we've created a support system that if she calls me and say I
needs
have
something,
an emergency, the
there
other
for
day I
her.
wasn't feeling well. Guess what? My cat had no food. She went out, got food, and that's not only one neighbor. If I call my super, if I knock on the neighbor across from me on the first floor, I have a neighbor up the block. I had a neighbor across the street because I've showed
But that's when
myself
community
friendly.
comes together, and that's how you fight landlords. That's how you fight rodents, and that's how you fight broken windows and no heat. You band together. There is a question I have been working with ladies with that might very well be on the next Miss Universe pageant, will be in November. The question is, what should a group of people do that feels as if their government or officials are against them? And that group of people could be transgender, Muslim, Mexican, Democrats, women, blacks.
President,
What should a
no.
group of people do that feels as if their government or officials are against them? And the answer I'm working with them is, first thing this group of people should do, band together in a peaceful protest. Destroying your own community is never wise, but the larger the number, the larger the voice, the larger the roar. Secondly, take it to social media. Social media is an incredible way to get support, whether it be emotionally, spiritually, or financially. And third, and most important, if you live in a democracy, how dare you not vote? Get out and vote. And by the time a presidential election has come, it's too late. Vote for police commissioners, mayors, governors, congressmen. So that is the answer. My girls better say it. They on the Miss Universe stage. Don't play with me. We've been working on this question. But that is some of the
And
stuff.
it's a great answer. You have to create a support system. You have to band together, and you have to create that support system for each other and that sense of community, and do for each other what the government is not doing for you, and then you pay it forward. So I can say that I want to help 100 people, and I want to sow seeds in 100 lives. And then I can say to those 100 people, 100 was my number, but I need you to pay it forward. So your number might be one person, your number might be 300.
But when we add all those
But
numbers
when you
together,
add those numbers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 of us are sitting here right now, and I say to you, I need you to reach out to another 5 people, and I need you, and you tell those 5 people to reach out to another 5. Do you see how it's connecting?
It's a domino effect.
It's a domino effect. So we have to understand that when we go out there and we're doing the work, we have to make sure that we hold that who we're doing the work with, that we hold them accountable to pay it forward and do the work with others and extend themselves the way that we're freely extending ourselves to them. And that's how we build community, and that's how we speak to the government, and that's how we affect change.
One of the things here at Community Cop, for our viewing audience who may not know, one of the standards here is the only people that can work on your show are others that have attended Manhattan Neighborhood Network as well. So when we sit and we talk of things of this nature, we know from what we're talking about, because each of us has had to help. That's how we met. In my training, that's how I met these ladies. She was here training, that's how she met us. Sharon and I go way back. We won't talk about that modeling. But Sharon has helped on the film festival that Veronica does. We give back. This is not something that we're preaching, but this is a way of living and a standard for us.
By the way, you said Community Cop instead of 30 Frames.
Oh, 30 frames.
Yeah, so you
sorry.
I wasn't going to say anything.
For those of us, for those of you who don't know, for those of you who don't know, Nat is facing me here right now, threatening me. So please take a picture of me. If you find me dead, call and say Nat Wood. He just cut the throat and pulled my tongue through. That's what he did. You people can't see, and I'm afraid. I'm afraid. Okay. We work on 30 frames. But I said that in the opening.
We're the people behind 30 Frames. We love
30
that.
Frames audience. I said that in the opening. If you were here, we are the people who work in the back.
Except me.
For 30 frames, exception. That's why it's called Takeover Tuesday. We are taking over the front of the stage, and these are the people backstage when Nat is out here. But yes, 30 Frames is our favorite show in the world, and Nat is one of our favorite human beings in the whole wide world. Everybody shake your head and say that. Okay. Thank you, Big Daddy.
Can I ask a question of Sharon?
Please.
Because we're getting ready to wrap up with Sharon. Yes, of course, because you're here and we got you here, and I just love you. You always dress so well, and then here we are, women of larger women, and we have. So talk about the colors, because a lot of times there's this, we a lot of women, they think that, oh, well, I can't wear bright colors and things like that because I'm too big. It's going to make me look bigger. So talk about dressing and talk about the color palette, because I love what you're wearing right now. It's just
Thank you.
gorgeous.
This is one of my favorite Ashley Stewart jumpsuits.
Shut up!
Yes. Bought her on clearance because that's where I live.
Nice, nice.
I love color. For me, color makes me happy. Because I modeled for such a long time, I know my color palette and I know what colors work well against my skin tone and what doesn't. You should learn that. But also, whatever you put on, you gotta own it. I follow my heart. I wear what I like. If it makes me happy, then I'm wearing it. I don't really care what anybody else thinks. And that's the mindset that this works for me. It may not work for you, or you.
But what about the big bright lights and reds and yellows?
Why
and
would you not be able to wear it? Wear
everything.
it.
Walk in the room and love all of you.
Absolutely.
And Sharon,
I love black because of what we do here, but I always like to.
No,
I don't see bright colors for some reason. My mom says, but I love orange.
Bright colors say to me, tell the world,
Me
I'm
too.
here.
I'm here.
See
Look
me,
at
love
me, acknowledge
I'm
me.
here. I look
Well,
good.
and I think those are statements because they always say like you wear blues as a suit, you wear blacks as like
I
if you
don't
wear
follow
red
the
as
trends.
No, I don't
no.
either. I don't
I
either.
don't.
I don't
said
either.
them.
I don't
follow
either.
them.
And I just want to throw something out
when
there.
She wears pink and orange.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
I want to throw something out there.
And she wears it well.
I am very excited to say I'll be choreographing the Ashley Stewart Fashion Show in Brooklyn in September. In a couple of weeks, it's one of their biggest shows. We are proud to have some incredible artists, including In Vogue, that will be performing. I'm
nice.
choreographing the Ashley Stewart Show. And come out, turn up, and the
gonna be a
girls,
lot of fun.
the girls are going to be showing their curves and modeling, and they're going to be wearing a lot of bright colors, Veronica.
Yes, bright colors, right?
Yes, they are. A lot
Don't
of
fear
bright
color. Wear what makes you happy. Do you bump what anybody else
Right.
thinks.
So then that would
No, that's a trick of
But
the
I
enemy
like
to
that.
blend
'Cause look
in.
at Sheila is so vibrant today. I
And-
love it.
Thank you. You know I
Yeah.
love to wear black.
We want to stand out. I've been an oddball
Exactly.
ever since I got here. I was a big
Right.
kid in a village of small people, and I had to find my way.
See-
I didn't have clothes that fit me. I didn't have shoes that fit me. My mother didn't make my shoes. I actually wore my mother's shoes. But my mother made clothes for me. Everything was here, or capris before capris was in. So you have to find a way to make it work for you, and that's what I did.
Well, I like what the Dove campaign has done when they put the Just for Me and the big, larger women on set, even big, platforms and things like that for them. I like what they did because there are a lot of women who are larger that do not embrace their size. And so then it's very rare that you have like the fashion shows or the clothing stores. It's not that many.
No,
It's growing.
there's a lot more now.
Yeah.
When I was growing up, there was nothing. There was absolutely nothing. But now, the kids with the big feet, they have options where they can go buy shoes, they can buy clothes just about anywhere. I mean, they doing Junior Plus stuff. It's like if you don't like the body that you have currently, it's up to you to fix that. Otherwise, if you're not going to fix it, then rock the hell out of it.
All right.
You wear the stuff that
But
complements
it's a
your
trick of
body.
the enemy.
like
You
that.
don't
She
like
says
the
that
hair
too.
you have. You're trying to make it straight. You don't like the skin you wrapped in. You don't like your size. You don't think you're smart enough. You don't like your teeth. You wish you had green eyes. It's just
You
a
wanna
trick
look
of
like
the
somebody
enemy
else.
to just not be happy with
This is your
yourself.
gift. You came here with this. Figure out how you're supposed to use this,
Exactly.
and then you'll find your purpose.
Oh,
See you looking at
see
it.
how we bring that back around? See how we bring that back
on.
around?
Okay.
That's how it works around here. That's how we do it.
Before we go, I would love to invite the audience and each and every one to Reach Week. This is our 10th year of New Hope for the World Ministries, going out into the street with doctors, lawyers, etc., whatever type of help that you need on West 125th Street at the State Building. Plus, there will be ministering. They're giving out different things, health packages. Come on out, and that's Saturday, September 23rd at 12 noon. The next day, we'll be at the Apollo Theater. And we're having Beverly Crawford come in. And that's about 3 o'clock in the afternoon. And for ticket information, you can come to 63 West 126th Street, where Reverend Terrence Kennedy is the pastor. New Hope for the World, it's New Hope Community Church, and it's New Hope for the World Ministries. It's different countries of gospel singers from Japan, from Korea. I hope you don't like it, Mr. President. From Korea, from Germany. Matter of fact, they've even been down here to MNN. They wanted to see what we were doing down here, and they come every year. This is our
Which
10th
Korea,
year.
North or South? See, it's a difference. I'm just being.
She's just being devil's advocate.
and they come down here, and we want you to come and attend. And also, it will be a CD release because Reverend Kennedy wrote a lot of songs. They were played at the Gospel Music Workshop of America and the Dorsey's Convention. And the song is being played there. His songs is being played every day on the gospel stations.
Great. Sharon, what will you be doing coming up? Is there anything people should look forward to?
You should watch my show Saturday mornings, Model Behavior with Sharon Quinn. Spectrum Channel 56, 1993 and 1995, if I'm not mistaken. It's Manhattan only, but if you don't live in Manhattan, you can always check out our YouTube channel. Just put in Model Behavior with Sharon Quinn and all of our episodes will come up. It's very current, so check it out. There's a lot of really good information on that on my show.
Veronica, anything to look forward to this summer?
Nothing this summer, but just keep checking the website because we're about to launch early submissions for the People's Film Festival for next year.
Yay! Yay!
I
Nikki,
know.
projects other than, wait, I wrote them down. P-I-P, T-H-W.
No, DHW.
DHW.
Get it right.
That's
Daily
right,
habit work.
DHW. Okay.
Some people call it homework. I call it daily habit work. So if what I'm saying, what we were discussing speaks to you, I really would like for you to join me on this journey. And my number is 100 people. If it's more than that, then that's fine. But if this speaks to you and you want to be on a journey of self-realization and you just want to hit the reset button and you want to start doing the daily habit work, then reach out to me. You can DM me on Instagram. If Nat has it in the back, he'll put it up. My Instagram name is Miscommunicator. It's MSCOMMUNITOR, Miscommunicator. Or you can reach out to me through my business email. It's mvig.strategist, S-T-R-A. I just forgot how to spell my own name. S-T-R-A-T-E-G-I-S-T, okay? MVIG.STRATEGIST, or Miscommunicator, not M-I-S-S. MSCOMMUNICATOR, Miscommunicator, okay?
Okay, she is the communication expert, but she didn't do that well. But don't y'all judge her.
Okay, listen, I'm winging it. It's okay. It's up on the screen.
Amen.
Write it down. And please contact me because I would love to work with you and I would love to pay it forward and see you pay it forward. I want to see us all win.
And we want to say congratulations to all the graduates who are entering their senior year. We wish all the kids who are entering back in school that have started back, please put your best foot forward, please. Whether you decide to use that degree to go to college or just use it for yourself, that's really, really important. We want to say here in New York, keep the faith. We're still standing in New York. All eyes are on us, I think.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Cut the head, the body dies. New York.
We're going to be all right, though.
We're going to be all right?
No, but you know how the old people say, colored folks, we used to struggling. This ain't nothing new.
This ain't nothing new?
You know what I
be all
learned
right.
real quick? Everybody read the third stanza of the Star Spangled Banner. Spangled Banner. The reason why is because Francis Scott Key, when he wrote it, they said that he was, I'm just finding this out last week on Community Comp. The third stanza actually talks about race. So when they talk about
there you go.
The football player Kaepernick, when he doesn't want to kneel to the flag or whatever and sing that.
Veronica
That's
comes
the
up
reason
with
why.
these things.
Gotta
Make
say
sure
that.
you read the third one.
Third
You've been
stanza.
watching 30 frames a second. Takeover.